Here at MyTech, we've been working hard to create the next generation of wall panel design software. And the amazing thing is, it's all built on the PAMIR ecosystem. So, a whole house engineering software where you can design floors, roofs, and walls. It sounds too good to be true. So let's put it to the test. Let's see what it can do with a 10-minute design challenge. Let's get 10 minutes on the clock and let's get started. With PAMIR Walls, we have really strong BIM integration tools. So let's start with importing an IFC model from the architect. Now, working with BIM models, it's a really accurate way of working. And of course, 2D file formats are still supported, but today I'm going to work directly from the BIM. So for this design challenge, I'll be designing this plot here on the corner. So if I take us back to the layout view, we can see the corner plot right here. Now, we don't want to be working on an angle, so I'll start by rotating the model to the correct angle. And let's start by using the BIM model to draw in the ground floor walls. The BIM model is looking very busy at the moment, but the BIM Explorer makes it really easy to manage, so I can simply turn off the layers I don't need and just leave the ground floor layer visible. And now I can add my walls by tracing over the BIM model. I can easily turn my BIM model off to make it easier to select objects, and I'll change these wall types to suit. So now I have the outer walls in, I can now add the internal walls. The extend feature really speeds up this process. So now that all the ground floor walls are in place, I can copy these up to the first floor and easily adjust them to suit. I'll switch to the first floor story. And now let's show only the first floor BIM layer. We can now easily paste the walls into this level. And now let's edit the walls into the right positions. PAMIR makes it really easy to edit and move objects where needed. Especially with tools like trim and extend. Nice. So on this story, we also have this little offshoot, which isn't something we had on the ground floor, but we can use our merge feature to add this in. We now have completed the walls on both levels. If I take us over to the 3D, I'll set my drawing schema to normal. We can now see the wireframe of the timber frame walls. You can see this more clearly if I hide the BIM model. Now I can run the build command and we can start to see the structure taking place. So now my frame is built, we need to add in the openings for all these windows and doors. Now this process is super easy with the BIM tools. I can simply import all the openings in directly from the IFC. And with no manual intervention, we now have all those windows and door openings in the correct positions. Now, of course, if you're not designing from an IFC model, you would have to enter these openings in manually, but PAMIR makes this super easy. You can easily add a window or a door opening in and the studs will just adjust accordingly. On the corner of the ground floor, the IFC model has imported 2 window openings, but we'll need to add a steel frame here. So I'm going to start by trimming the timber frames back so I can add that steel frame. And again, tools like the trim and extend make processes like this super easy. Now those frames have been trimmed back, I can add my steel frame. I'll set this beam into the frame to use as a support. And I'll now change the material thickness within the properties panel to suit the depth of that timber frame. I'll take us over to the 3D view now, and I'll now build these frames. I can now go into the frame view of that steel frame, and I'll alter the column profiles and the sizes to suit. Awesome, so now my steel frame is starting to come together. The next step would be to add the fixing details, the bolts, the packers, and start to detail out the steel frame. However, PAMIR makes it really easy, and you can import and export frame details from a library. This means if you've created a specific detail in the past, you can simply import that detail and just edit it to suit. Here, I can select the steel frame from my library and apply it to this frame. And I'll do the same with this frame. And now we can see the steel frame comes in fully detailed with all the packers, fixing details and bolts. And of course, we can edit this if needed, but the library is always a great option to build details and speed up the design process. We can see from this view, our beam is protruding into the wall panel for some support. If we rebuild the panel, it will automatically adjust the studs and create us a nice pocket detail. Super easy. Now the wall frames are in place, it's a good time to link in my floor design. And PAMIR Walls lets you link multiple models together, which means I can pull in the floor design straight from the floor designer's PAMIR model into this one. It's that simple. And now we have the floor design in our model. And the great thing is we can now interact with the floor design to improve the accuracy of our walls. A good example of this is the steel in the floor design, which needs to be supported by the ground floor panels. If I now rebuild the ground floor panels, they'll automatically update based on the parameters of the linked floor. We can see there cripple studs have automatically been added for that steel. Now the floor is in, let's do the same with the roof and link in the roof designer's model. We now have the floor, roof and walls all in one model. So now the roof is in, if I select all the walls and rebuild, we can see the cripple studs automatically adjust under the girder trusses. Now we're ready for some gable panels. So let's start by drawing them in. We can follow the wall outline from the linked roof design and put them in like so. And we can see the gable panels automatically snap to the roof surfaces. The 3D has always been a great visual aid to make sure we have the correct heights in. From here I can actually see one of the spandrel needs an offset, so it sits on top of that supporting beam. So I'll just put that in, and now they are ready to build. Now, just before I add the finishing touches, I want to alter my lintel detail on this panel here. I'll replace this timber lintel to steel and increase the number of inner studs to increase the bearing. This is all made super simple within the properties, everything automatically updates in real time. I'll quickly just add a saw plate to the ground floor level. And finally, I can now build my wall layers. Whether you require advanced closed panel systems, factory fire protection, or even conventional open panel timber, it's easy to configure within PAMIR. Now, just before we wrap this up, let's talk production. For each panel, we get production drawings, setting out sheets, and cutting bills. A really helpful feature on the production sheet is this layout view, which shows exactly where the panel is located on the layout. Now, PAMIR Walls gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to configuring the production output. Here, I want to add a sheathing table for the plasterboard, and it's as simple as ticking it on in the settings. And now a sheathing table appears. And here, I also want to split out the OSB from the main frame. And again, it's as simple as ticking on in the settings. And now I get an extra dedicated sheet just for that OSB. And there we have it. Let's stop the clock. Full house design in under 10 minutes. But truthfully, we haven't even scratched the surface of what PAMIR Walls can do. Stay tuned for more content and like and subscribe below.